Hello, hello. We are back for Aunt and Andrew and our weekly podcast show, Family's Everything.
Until it's not.
You're
I am Aunt, and this
I'm
is
Andrew.
mine, and you are Andrew. Nobody would
Did
ever
you get
know
highlights
you
in your hair?
a long time ago. Like
Oh.
I've had highlights for
So
2
maybe the
years.
one right on your left eye
Maybe
looks a little
it's
more
curly. It's warm today, so it's a little bit more
Oh yeah,
spirally.
the
Maybe
curls are living like Jennifer's.
there you go. So we're going to talk today about our two favorite Bravo shows right now, which would be The Real Housewives of New Jersey and Vanderpump Rules. So let's start on Jersey first. I'm obsessed with Pump Rules right now,
it's been
too.
my self-care routine, watching their lack of self-care. I hate to say it. Makes me feel better about myself. Like, it makes me feel more normal. I think that's the one thing about all the drama that we've watched that I think is great, is that I hope it gives people in their 20s and 30s a little bit of a break, thinking that they, maybe
they're a disaster. They're a hot mess.
Yeah.
They're nothing compared to Pump.
Exactly.
They're just a disaster, Pump. But let's start on Jersey. So we started with Jersey, that all the Gorgas do is sit around and talk about Teresa. They're sitting on their bed again. They're sitting on their bed again talking about the Gorgas. We went to the Jersey Shore. I want to tell you a little story about the Jersey Shore. Aiden's place, oof, that was rough. Man, and they can see like down to the t-shirt store. Is Snooki in there? Is she still making a t-shirt?
I have so many like can we just say it? Like, I'm gonna go out on a limb here, and of course we can look at the deed, so I don't have to really go out on a limb. Right. But like, let's try to find it, because I'm hoping they bought it like a month ago. And like, that's why they haven't done anything. There's no new furniture. The show's filming, or like a month before it filmed.
Right. I hope so too, because the furniture was rough. The house was rough. Everything was rough. But I want to tell you a story. So last summer, I was looking at property on the Jersey Shore because it's so cheap.
Oh, okay.
That you can get a place on the water for like 750,000. It would be 3 million for the same place in Maine.
Yeah.
And I thought, the taxes are cheap. The Jersey Shore could be fun. What the heck? You know what I mean? And so I can't imagine how much that one was, because it wasn't on the water. It was behind the t-shirt store. So we do kind of have to find out how much the Aiden's paid for that place. I was very surprised. Nothing wrong with it. God bless her. She got a place. She's got 5 kids. They're going to trash it anyways.
It's more her attitude around other things. Like, you can't be like, oh, I only go to buy my furniture here and do this.
Right. And this and have the big opulent house with the basketball court. But then they have this. And you know what, though? Maybe Dr. Aiden said, hey, that's it, girl.
Or maybe
I'm giving you this much money and you can't go over the budget. End of story.
I think that she is trying to make an excuse for the fact that they're doing, I mean, imagine, my parents have a beautiful house up in Maine and redid it. But the first few years that they had it, they were like, we're going to redo it.
Right.
So we're not going to like get new furniture. We're not going to do all these things.
And they did.
Hopefully it's a situation like that.
Well, no, she said everything was furnished, even the sheets, and she was keeping them.
That's cool.
So let's see what it looks like next year, because Jen Aiden will be back for another season. So they went to the Jersey Shore and the party started. And it's very interesting who's staying with who's sleeping with who. And once again, my biggest question is, why is Jackie there? Yeah. She's only there to cause trouble.
She's only there because they invite her.
And she's like Marge's little, I'm telling you, Marge has got an army too. You better look out when you deal with Marge, because she comes with an arsenal. And Melissa Gorga didn't know what an arsenal was. Whew. I'm glad they're all so brilliant on the Jersey Shore. That was another reason I couldn't buy a house there. I know what arsenal means.
I'll say this. I think that a few things. They all look to start trouble.
Every single one of them. Every
And it's
single
part of
one of
being
them.
on TV, I
Yeah.
think. Like there's
And
a
I don't like Jackie is saying, well, why isn't Danielle? What's wrong with her,
oh,
her brother,
we'll get there.
her brother?
We'll
Because
get there.
why don't we talk about your sister you haven't talked to for 15 years? What was
You
the
see
problem there?
Dolores' interview with Teresa where
Yeah,
Dolores
I did. Yeah. Yeah. We never asked about your sister. We never asked about your sister. What's the story with your sister? Let's get her sister on the show. Let's get her dirt.
yeah.
Because Marge and Jackie are probably working behind the scenes to find out what it is with Danielle's brother.
Of course they are, but think about it. I have to also tell you, and I hope you agree with me here. I love her to death.
Who?
Tree.
I love Tree. I love
Like,
Tree.
her and Jennifer's scene at the jeweler was so fake. It's not even funny.
No, of course it was so fake, but
I
she
felt
did
like you
get
could
them.
hear the producer feeding them lines about
I
this
know.
Melissa thing, and it was like so forced.
It's so forced. It's so forced. But Gorgas just as forced. The Gorgas are just as forced when it comes to Melissa's mother and that whole nonsense about getting invited. But Marge's mother's coming, but Melissa's mother isn't. But you know what? I totally agree with Teresa in that aspect. Like I've been to parties with you and you tried to bring me down and you've done nothing but cause trouble. And you've gone on social media and talked bad about me. Why would I have you to my house?
I'm going to tell you why. All of the things they showed happened before that scene in the living room when they're all sitting in the circle a couple seasons ago when Teresa's mom had just died. She had just got out of prison. Melissa's mom, it was like a Mother's Day episode they had.
Yeah, I remember
Teresa
that.
was there by herself. Then she left early because she's like, I thought I could do it, but I couldn't. She started crying. Melissa's mom was there for her. And Teresa said on camera, this is why I don't, sometimes I'm like, why, if the talent isn't going to dot their I's and cross their T's, can production at least bring some shady, they won't do that to Teresa. And probably not too, because it has to do with her mom. But I will say, I remember that scene vividly. And it was obviously after the christening and all that stuff and after the social media.
Of course. Yeah. And after Teresa went to prison.
And I feel like, you know what, be fair, because
I would just say, I don't want him.
Yeah, exactly.
She doesn't, let's just say this, people don't have to give an excuse why they don't want someone at their party.
Yes. And I also think that this is their second wedding each. And so tell me why they have to go back to square one of their life of family and this. No.
True.
If I had already had one wedding and then Brad had already had a wedding and then we met, I would say we should be inviting the 200 people closest to us in this moment in our lives. And if that's family, great. If that's not family, then whatever. Sorry.
Yeah, well, you know what? She obviously doesn't consider them family. End of story. And they're not coming.
I think that it is killing Louis inside. I'm just going to say this.
That he has to wear the father's pajamas.
I don't want to talk about that. It's killing Louis inside that Teresa just won't throw a bone. From the onset, not now and as they recover from
right.
He should have just listen. If Teresa really wanted to just get through this fast, easy, quick, no drama, she would have made Melissa a bridesmaid. It would have been so easy.
But that would have been boring.
No, but wait, let's call a thing a thing.
Why? She doesn't want Melissa's mother at her wedding. Why would she want Melissa in the wedding?
We all know people as close as maybe your daughter, my sister, where we can name at least one's bridesmaid where we're like, okay, did they really talk that much? Maybe not as much because your daughter had a smaller wedding, but my sister, I'm not going to say it, but I know so many people that have bridesmaids for technicalities or small reasons. And then there's no drama. And I'm not saying that it doesn't kill you at the end of the day if you have one bridesmaid that maybe isn't super close or super present. There's
I don't think you have to have, I don't think you have to have your
sisters, which the mother looks terrible. And the sisters, the mother doesn't look terrible. Melissa's mom, she actually looks younger. You can tell she's trying because the first time she showed her face this season, I thought it was the two sisters.
Yeah.
I said that already on this. But I think they could have thrown a bone, put one extra table, Teresa, wouldn't have cost you much. Have the Gorgas there. You're going to have hundreds of people there. You're going to have all these housewives. Chanel Ayan was there from Dubai. Okay. If you had a problem with Melissa's family, when Melissa's family If they had caused a problem at the wedding, all you would have had to do is send over the lady from Dubai who has no care in the world and is still trying to get attention everywhere she breathes to make sure she's a fixture on Bravo.
True.
So trust and believe.
But
Tell me,
did Ramona go
just for the press?
Ramona didn't get invited in the end, did she?
No, she went, I think.
No, I don't think so. She was the one giving up all the details. And I think
didn't mean to. I feel okay. Listen, in a world full of reasons to get mad at Ramona,
that's not one of them.
It was a mistake.
Right. True.
Teresa said that.
But I want to say this: that Frank never fails. He always brings it, and he's always entertaining. He's probably the only person on the show, except for him being Gorgas' little lap dog and sitting on his feet and licking his ankle. He's the only one I consistently like on this show.
What about his girlfriend? Because I like her every time I see her.
Yeah, I know. She's auditioning too, don't you think?
No, I don't think so. I think that she is one of the most secure people I've ever seen. You can tell that the way she talks about Dolores is so natural. She's not.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, she wanted her at the house.
I love
and Frank just had their teeth all done at some doctor in.
I saw him post it.
Yeah, in Texas, in
that
Houston.
Was a nice comp for a post.
Yeah, and I also want to say what they did to Zuda's. Is it Zuda or Buddha or what the hell's this?
Buddha, that was so weird.
It was nasty. It was disgusting. Really at a party, we're gonna rip a man's chest hair out. Wicked.
He's new on the show.
Yeah, so it is hazing. Yeah, that wouldn't go over at most colleges these days.
Most colleges, no colleges.
Well, there's got to be one or two that would still let it slide, like in Alaska or something.
School, like an esthetician school where they're learning to wax.
Yeah, but I want to tell you, I can't. I think Marge is trouble. Marge is trouble. She's into it, but that Danielle, she's on a slow burn.
Yeah, let's finish with her because then we got to move on to Pump.
Yeah, because she is on slow burn and I love good. Her. I do too. I love her because she's not taking it.
Listen,
she's Staten Island.
I believe that she. I still wish she had just gone up to Jackie and just said, but I think she also wants to be careful because here's the other thing. Jackie's husband is a normal dude, and there's no reason for him to get into a fight with Danielle's husband, and yeah. And I think that she thinks that way too. And her husband's probably got a temper. He's young. He's from Staten Island too. They're all like that. I will say Danielle truly gave me one of the most exhilarating housewife moments in that Sprinter van. I felt like I was watching a cross. Yeah. Salt Lake City's done a lot, and the Sprinter vans have been big ever since Vicky needed one, and then she got a family van. She really needed a Sprinter van.
Oh, don't talk. Remember that
cross between. I felt Drita Devanzo, Renee Graziano, Mauve Wax coming out of Danielle. I really felt.
I thought it was good. She's bringing it. She'll be back next year too.
Teresa's face too, though. Whenever she agrees with something, is always like. You Teresa looks, she doesn't really, Teresa doesn't, she's in the moment. She's she doesn't really put on her Teresa face. When she's really listening and she's mad. You could tell she was mad.
Yeah, you can tell. But anyways, next week, it looks like it really starts to brew because they showed the preview and it really starts to brew. And then we have a second wedding coming up too. That's what's so interesting.
Oh yeah, let's go to Scheana. So let's
go right to Scheana. I love that Sheena's getting married in 2 weeks, and she's only worried about if her face moves. Should she get Botox now or wait? I thought it was so good. All of the problems she has, she doesn't have a room for her guest or her maid or her bridesmaid, but she's got to make sure about her face. It cracked me up.
I also as much as I could never in a million years, and I know you would agree with me here because I know you and your husband's my uncle. I could never have a full day, every hour, every 30 minutes with Brad. Oh my God. The fact that they have a checklist going down that list. It's
I know. I think it's brilliant
for the fact that they do everything together, because think about it. You can enable each other to skip a lot of things when there's two of you. But when there's a checklist, it's both of you being oh shit, we gotta, and so I think it probably works for them. And I love them together. Probably because we have a lot of great tragic relationships from Scheana to compare it to.
Yeah, totally.
What do you think about?
Okay, here's what I think. I think the guys at the party. First of all, how about the fact that it was Raquel who invited
Can we call her
James?
Rachel?
Yeah, I want to call her Rachel, but I want to make sure we just talked about Rachel, that people don't get confused that when we say Rachel on Vanderpump Rules, we mean Raquel. Okay.
Yeah.
So let's have a disclosure just for people who might not know that her real name's Raquel. And I mean, Rachel. And okay.
And that is the extent of the bullying we will do, is calling
Yeah.
her
Yeah.
Rachel,
No, that's her real
because
name.
she's on TV. We're not. I have
What's
a lot
Lala's real name? Because she has a real name too.
Lauren from
Lauren
from
yeah.
Oregon, or whatever.
Yeah.
Say.
Okay, so
yeah,
the funny part is about the Raquel situation is that all the guys, they all got turned on when they found out that she stood up to Lala, because they hate Lala so much, those men, because they're intimidated by her and they're not man enough to talk back to her because she will destroy them. So they say nothing. So the idea that Raquel did it, oh, they all got turned on. That's my belief on that. They were like, you stood up. Oh my God. You stood up to Lala. Oh, wow. Oh.
Yeah,
so
they're afraid of Lala.
They're all afraid of Lala.
As an old housewife would say,
yeah,
she's a thug in a cocktail dress.
Yeah, that's it. She sort of is. I mean,
I love her.
I like Lala sometimes, but I thought the guy she brought over, I thought he was just so nasty. It wasn't funny.
You just don't like tattoos like that.
I don't like tattoos. Is different than having them covering your face.
I know.
I mean, it's not like he had a sleeve. It went all the way up his body.
No, I know. It's a vibe that,
back.
like, if you don't feel it, then you really don't feel it. Because I don't.
I just thought he was nasty.
I wouldn't mind tattoos, like, in the sense of, like, they just have to be. There's just too many. How is it a style? It's like,
what does Schwartz have on his ass?
I don't know. He has something.
Yeah, he's got a Bubba. I think it's Bubba.
Oh yeah,
I think it's Bubba. But God. I want to tell you, I thought that guy was nasty, and
I get it for her. I'm happy that she got out of her system. I just want to see now, like, what she moves on to. I want to know your opinion here. What do you think?
Even Ariana called them. I want to just say this. Even Ariana was telling them they were mean girls, and I thought the three of them there are pretty nasty. They were nasty last night, and Katie Malone. She was full on bitch last night. Sorry.
Okay. Here's the thing. Katie Maloney should be giving up her room.
She shouldn't go. They don't want her.
Taking the money, and she should say, okay, now, Scheana, my advice to you, sit her down, even though you're going through bullshit with her. And say, listen, all bullshit aside.
Yeah.
But because we have bullshit and because you're not coming. Here's what I'm saying to you. It's that I don't hear that you're at the same resort, but because the resort is sold out.
Yeah.
Would you say, like, are you okay with, like, doing this? And, like, it would just be great because she's in the wedding. Now, like, again, you and I don't have to like each other. We don't like each other.
Right.
Like, you already said you're not coming to the wedding. Like, if you can, like, if the resort opens up, like, I'm not going to say you can't stay at the resort. I'm just saying that, like, if it doesn't open up, would you consider, like, giving her your room and she'll pay you the money for it? Because, like, it would be really great for us all to be at the same place.
And not only that, who wants to go to a wedding where you're not even at welcome? Like, the whole thing, it makes everybody uncomfortable.
But I will tell you,
so uncomfortable. And it's produced. I understand that it's produced, but sometimes watching these shows, even though it is produced, it makes me uncomfortable. I'm just going to say that. But again, that wedding's got a lot of drama. We are building up to, and Jersey has a lot of drama we're going to build up to. And I'm telling you, the night of the wedding, I expect you to wear a suit. I will wear a gown.
Okay.
Okay. That's what I think. I think we need to dress, and maybe I'll even put on one of those fascinators, like they wear. Oh, well, that would be if it was a Pump Rules. Well, yeah, Lisa will be there. Lisa will have one on her head. Maybe. Do you think Lisa's going?
I think that Lisa is.
I haven't heard her talking about the wedding, but I can't imagine it's her show, really.
Yeah, she should be there, I bet. I would assume. I mean, she did host Scheana's last wedding at her house. So, I mean, I think that she should be at least, attending this one. I will say I disagree with you about the bullying comments. Like the being nasty, the
Oh,
girls.
they're so nasty. It's not
But
funny.
okay, but I want to ask you
So
something.
nasty. So Katie's a jerk. Katie's a jerk. She's just
Okay,
a
but
bitch.
here's my thing.
Sorry.
Is anything they're saying, knowing what you know now,
Well,
false?
but that's it. We didn't know what we know now. So
But
they're
they knew it at
saying
the time. They thought this in the time. So
No,
like,
I don't think
about it.
they knew it. I forgot to put my lights on.
Listen, we have plenty of things in our lives we're not going to get specific, where
Right.
we foreshadow things and then they happen.
Yeah,
We form
true.
opinions about people, we form opinions about things, and then they come to be true. And like, we knew before, but at the same time, like, we're not on a reality show, so they don't hear us talking about it. But it doesn't mean that we are wrong. And so I just think that that's the part that I'm like, we're judging them based on their behavior. But then again, their accusation and what they thought about certain people was 100% spot on.
It was spot on. Yeah, there's a lot of
Imagine what they
foreshadowing.
were feeling in the moment.
But was all of their foreshadowing and everything they were feeling, was that legit what they felt, or was that being little birds telling them to?
I mean, it's a huge, I mean, I don't even think that's something to say. Like, I mean, little birds run with hints that are not
Do you
true or
think that
confirmed.
do you think that Tom and Raquel had already started at that pool party?
I don't, it depends when the pool party was. I think that they had not started hooking up. I think they had started talking in a way that was like, just, I think it was the transition between friendship and the affair was going on then.
Yeah, I don't know. See, I don't know. I wish I knew. I wish somebody would tell us what happened when.
Well, Miami is what, the wedding? No, that's Mexico. When's Miami?
Mexico. What's Miami? Are they going to Miami
Jax
too?
keeps saying something about Miami.
Oh, Miami was Miami girl who
Oh,
came
yeah,
to
yeah,
the
sorry.
bar.
Okay,
That's
so
what
the
Miami's
party, so
not
they
about.
weren't
He's
filming.
talking about Miami girl.
No, I know. I'm not thinking about that. I'm thinking about the party in Palm Springs where
Okay.
Jax said that Ariana called Tom
Yes,
and said her grandmother was dying and
dying.
didn't come home. And like,
Right. And
that
he
for
didn't. He
me,
said he didn't have an Uber. But everybody else had an Uber all day long. That's what Jack said on Watch What Happens Live.
I am sorry, but like, that for me, like, Jax is such an odd character. Let's transition to Watch What Happens Live, because like, well,
Yes.
I will say a couple things more from the episode.
And I want to say, okay, go ahead, finish. And then we'll go to Watch What
In
Happens
an
Live.
alley, it's like, we're doing really well on this show of actually showing reality.
Mm,
So can we call it what it is? Like, James, can you either like again, the fourth wall has been broken on every single fucking show. So
Yeah.
can we please just do it here? Can you just say, James, like, Allie can't come because production won't let her come, which like
Right.
she knows. Like, I hate this. It's like so obvious. It's like, dude, if production allowed it, you would have texted your girlfriend on the boys' night out and said, the girls just got here. Can you come?
Yeah. Well,
they-
yeah, but she might go and just not appear on screen, because Jax and Brittany went and they weren't on screen.
Yeah, I guess, but
I mean, it'd be easy just to keep her in the back if you
oh,
really
no.
had to have her.
And then also, I think it's so like, I'm gonna say this right now, Scheana girl, you have a hit podcast, you're on a big reality show. Like, we all know that if you have a handful of friends who have significant others in
You
Mexico,
invite them. You don't
invite them to the dinner.
You don't say that they can come to the after party. I thought that was so funny. That's just hysterical. Well, I have a lot of friends who I didn't invite their significant other, just them.
And like, show some respect to your castmates who have been through hell and back with you. Some of them have already given you multiple wedding gifts. So now they're going to be giving you for a third one.
I thought it was so funny. I just thought, are you that desperate for money? I mean, Bravo's got to be paying for some of this, don't you think?
They must be. Oh, yeah.
They have to be. They have to pay for them. It's got to be one of their trips.
Or
this
it's a
year.
sponsor of NBC that is hosting the resort, maybe has a deal.
I think it must be the trip, because we haven't seen them on any trips except Vegas and Palm Springs.
But Pump doesn't always like they don't do a huge housewives trip. I just think that they've NBC
No,
marketing
a
now, like
Pump has
production.
gone. Pump went to Miami for her bachelor at party,
Oh
Scheana's,
yeah.
before, or Stassi's, or whoever it was, and then they went to Mexico for one. So they have been on trips. I think
Okay.
they've gone
So
to Lake Havasu too, but hasn't everybody?
Jax Taylor.
Yeah,
I'm
Jason.
I'm grateful that he has. I have to say, like people can always go and like study a line and try to be someone when they're in front of a camera, especially when they're doing like a 30-minute interview with two
Right.
commercial breaks, right?
Yeah.
Everything he said last night, he meant. And that includes him clearly doing a ton of work with Brittany to like get to a better place.
Right.
I
Right.
think that it
Yeah.
was,
Yeah.
I loved how he backtracked and said, like, I wanna say something like I'm the last person that should be talking about this.
Right.
He just missed one little part at the end of that. I just want to talk shit about Tom Sandoval because he's talked a lot of shit about me
Yes.
and I'm a gossip. But I
Wicked.
know that I'm not the moral high ground of being faithful to my
Right.
significant other.
Yeah. 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 That's all
But
true.
for him to say, I'll have something to say, yeah, you have a lot to say because you want to say it. And also, like, you are not one of Tom Sandoval's best friends. Because if you were one of Tom Sandoval's best friends, when Andy said, how long do you think Tom knew? You would have said, unclear. I mean, I'm sure he'll tell me exactly at some point. I have my own thoughts,
Right.
which I'm
But he
not gonna
didn't.
share,
No.
but
No.
unclear, yeah. And if you're a
But
real
I
friend,
would.
you're gonna say, out of respect for my friend, he should tell that people that.
Yes, but I will say the show's better without Jax.
Are you sure?
Mm-hmm. Because let's face it, what's going down now is almost as good as anything they've ever had. So it is better.
It's almost as good. It is beyond better than
Yeah.
anything Bravo's ever had. And how about Andy Cohen? First and foremost, flying commercial. Come on, guys. Come on, Bravo. You're not going to send him to go cover probably the highest rated program.
Did he say he was
outside of-
flying commercial?
I saw it in his selfie.
Yeah, but he must be in first class. He's
He
not in
is.
coach.
No,
Well,
I
he
didn't
can
say
fly
coach.
commercial. Listen,
You don't
there's-
think that NBC should be sending, he works every single night I think Jackson Brittany was pre-recorded, by the way.
I do too. I do
It must
too,
have been. They
because I
didn't
think
talk about
he's
the
already
episode.
out there. Yeah. I agree.
But what I'll
I
say
agree.
is he flew, like, I was just surprised.
No,
that they
first
fly in
class.
private.
I don't believe in private planes. They're ridiculous. If you care so much about the environment, get a seat in first class. Don't
Yeah,
go
I mean, I guess it's
lecturing
good.
me about recycling and then go have a plane all by yourself. No,
No, you're right. You're right. And also a
Yeah.
private plane from New York to LA with gas the way it is now is probably $100,000, the fuel alone.
yeah, but that's not the point. He's not that big a star. He can take
No,
first
but I
class.
just was surprised. I thought that they were going to, like, what I was thinking was at first, because you know how, I don't know if you know this, you don't watch Salt Lake, their reunion was in New York.
Okay.
So I think that, but I think he's probably doing it at Tom or Schwartz and Sandy's or something.
Yeah,
They like to try to give promotion to the restaurant. But I'll say that at first I thought that Jackson Brittany were going to be at the reunion, and that's why they were in New York, and everyone else was coming.
No. I think that Andy went out there. It's
No, Jackson
probably
Brittany
cheaper.
have a new podcast because they realized after the scandal started
Yeah.
that they should get a podcast.
They need a
going to make
podcast.
money.
And not only that, I just think it's easier for them to send Andy out there than to get all those people to New York, because you can't control them. You can't corral them.
Yeah, and you know what? Salt Lake could have been in Potomac's in New York, but that's easy. It's Maryland to New York.
Right.
Salt Lake was in New York, I think, because it was something that happened. It probably could have been Andy still saying COVID, I got kids, like I don't want to.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah. Who knows? Yeah. But anyways, everything's leading up. I mean, it's been great. Pump is the best it's ever been.
Oh my!
There's
and
not
Andy,
one scene that isn't significant right now.
Andy put on social that when he watched the final episodes, he said it was the best TV that's been on Bravo in years.
Oh, I can't wait.
I
It's so
mean,
exciting.
How about, let me tell you something. The person that is going to be thriving after this is Ariana. She already
Oh,
is.
yeah. But I
She's
mean,
got a Lifetime movie with what's her name? With I forget, Olivia Mum or whatever, like
She
the
did?
actress. Yeah, she just booked a Lifetime movie. It's all over social.
Is she's an actress, or are they doing the life they're doing?
Remember, they all
Real
were
life.
started off as models, actors.
No, I know that, but is the story a original story, or is it the story of Ariana and Tom?
No, it's an original story. Like she's in the movie.
Well, that will be good. Well, they're all actors and actresses anyways. That's why they all went to LA. Every single person in LA wants to be discovered, no matter where they are. It doesn't matter. I've been to LA enough.
My brother-in-law.
Okay. Well, he's not actually technically in LA, but
You're right.
People who go to LA and are working as waiters and waitresses and stuff, they're really looking to be discovered, because I haven't had one that doesn't try to perform as they serve you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I totally agree. Yeah. I will say that I don't love, what was exactly, I think I might have forgot what I was going to say.
It happens.
On air in front of you. No, it'll come to me quickly, and we'll be finishing up in a minute. But I'll say, you know, I think that what I just find to be just odd is the fact that they are all, in a way, like, I just hope that they show everything the real way. And I hope that there's like, the producers are not just producing right now. I hope they are also giving some advice to like I believe that if I could be a producer on that show right now, my first thing I would have done today when I was there waiting for them to arrive, when they filmed the reunion, is when I see Lala, I'd be like, listen, you say so many things. All of them are really needed and necessary and super on point. Can you do me a favor today? We really don't want it to be a brawl from the start. Can you just make sure that
right. Bring it down.
That we are able to really get through things. And like, you know, of course you're going to have your time to talk and everything, but I just, again, I know I want to make sure that your emotions are respected. We all know everyone's high strung, but we need to be able to get through it. Because if Rachel feels threatened, we have no idea what she'll do.
Right.
Because that's the advice Teresa Giudice needed. Season 2 was to basically, or season 1, whatever, no, season 2 was to like again, no one knew she was going to get up and try to chase Danielle when she said that.
Right.
But like that ruined.
Well, there'll definitely be security at this reunion. There will have to be, and it should be very interesting how they seat people. Will Tom and Raquel be near each other? Who will Sandoval be beside? Will it be the Mean Girls versus the? I mean, it's so much to look forward to. But I hate that they're already filming the reunion. I do.
I hope Christina Kelly gets an invite
to the reunion. Oh, let's see.
I want her to clear this up about her chapstick. Or her lip gloss.
Lip balm.
You know, because I'm over it. I have to say that Charlie girl, she needs to be put in her place.
Well, she wasn't on. Well, she was on very short time.
She needs to be put in her place. Katie Maloney is just boring. I don't think she's bad. Katie's just boring. She's just boring. I'm happy for her. I think she deserves someone far more wholesome than Schwartz. She needs. There's nothing wrong with Schwartz. There's nothing wrong, in my opinion. There's nothing really wrong with Katie. She's just not like the other girls. Like, she's just not as fun and happy-go-lucky.
She's just got a sticker. She's a stick in the mud. I have another name for her, but I'll just say she's a stick in the mud. But it's also like she's got a stick somewhere else.
I will also say this though, like Rachel, girl, I am not going to push the hate speech that is thrown at you on social media.
Right.
But you need to realize that what you are doing is hurting people that have actually worked on themselves. Go work on yourself.
She's young.
Figure your shit out. Don't use men. Go buy Tara Schuster's book. She says it. Buy yourself the fucking lilies. She says it in the first part. She used to turn to boys and drinking to try to fill voids that she lost when she was younger and growing up. Go fill those voids yourself. Stop using people as your way to get through things. You have literally, like, you should get a big raise. Don't get me wrong.
I agree. I agree.
Girlfriend.
Yeah.
But, okay. And we need to finish, as much as I need to go watch the basketball game. But
yes, go UConn.
Called TMZ at the nail salon.
Yes, she did.
horrible.
She looked horrible, but that's because she's got a permanent scar over her eye.
And I'm sorry, I know I sent it to you, but that was her Four Seasons landscaping moment. She thought, you know what, girl?
I was waiting for her hair dye to start dripping down her face.
I'm like, did you not learn anything from Rudy? If you don't have
so bad
backdrop in a place, you need to have press conferences and plan things.
You know what she looked like to me?
Talk about your backdrop.
To me, she looked like she was outside waiting to take people's tickets as they went into the flea market. That's what it looked like to me.
It was like a sketchy strip mall.
It really did. Yeah, downtown Clearwater.
Oh my, exactly. Like one of these like strip mall in LA. I will tell you, LA and Florida in general, the strip malls look awfully alike. They all look like Route 1 in Revere, okay, or in Saugus, okay. Every single street in Miami and LA and Clearwater looks the same thing. So
it's true. Well, go UConn.
Go UConn. Hopefully you'll be watching this, and then tomorrow will be the game that'll take them to the Final Four, because we're recording this the night before we show it to you, but it'll be up tomorrow morning.
Okay, can't wait. All right. We'll see you soon.
Next week.